the president, current president, said something and then everybody lost their minds. Take a look.
And just the other day, a speaker at his rally called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico where I'm in my home state of Delaware. They're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Now, he was quick to clarify that he was really referring to the hateful rhetoric as garbage. So I don't understand why you clutching your pearls, because you're trying to make something out of a tongue slip. A spokesperson said the joke was in poor taste and did not reflect the campaign's or you-know-who's views. This should not come as a surprise to anyone. Right. This is not new. It's just really clear and it's upfront, and now you see it. And all those people of color who were sitting in that audience, now you know.
Yep.
Now you know how he thinks about you. And when his group says, oh, no, that doesn't reflect, it does reflect.
Now to Sky News contributor Kosha Garda. Kosha, let's start with that final address by Kamala Harris, and at the same time, the incumbent, Joe Biden, delivers yet another gaffe and a really damaging distraction for the Democratic campaign.
Yes, this is why they say a week is a lifetime in politics, and you can just see that between the story coming out of Madison Square Garden, you know, on that issue of trash specifically, and then 24 hours later, this. It's also interesting because it sounds like every time Kamala Harris is giving a high-profile address or speech or interview somewhere, this has now happened, I think, the third time, where the president has spoken either at the same time or in short order, and that's just interesting because it sucks the oxygen out of the room in terms of Kamala's headlines and all of that generating. So probably not helpful. I think in general, all this messaging is not that relevant right now. It's all about execution and getting your base to turn out. But to the extent that messaging still is relevant, this certainly didn't help her.
Yeah, this is the final day. So give us a sense of just what is the focus right now. It's what they call the ground game.
Yes, it's all about turnout. You know, we've been talking about early voting, which is something that Republicans have historically shunned. They don't trust it. They've had this long preference for on election day in-person voting. And while they still share that preference, there's a huge difference that we're seeing this year, where the strategy has been to really ramp up that ground game and get Republican voters to turn out early, in person or via mail. The Sun Belt states right now, all four of them, are leading with Republicans, which is something that has never happened, certainly in the last 4 or 5 cycles. So that's quite an interesting indication. And then for the Rust Belt states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, it's either tied or the Republicans are behind, but by much less than they were last year. So all of that signals enthusiasm is definitely stronger on the Republican side. But again, a week is a lifetime in politics, and anything can happen between now and then, and you know, on election day, where this will ultimately close out.
And we have spoken a fair bit over the campaign, and I guess the one consistent theme has been that it's close. Do you maintain that now as we are 1 week out?
Definitely. I think I still do maintain it's a coin toss, because the thing is, you know, all the polls seem to be, the momentum's in Trump's favor. Early voting is in his favor, as I just mentioned. The betting markets are strongly in his favor. Enthusiasm, I think, is generally also in his favor. But that said, never ever discount the other side, because the Democrat ground operation, as we discussed, is the best in the business. They've always been so good at micro-targeting low propensity voters and getting them to turn out for the polls. Some people have talked about the women's vote, and specifically the abortion issue, which is a very animating issue to women, is something that's the one issue where Kamala is stronger than the Republican side. And as of now, women are voting at a higher clip than men as well. So those are things that favor Kamala, and that's why I think it's still very much a 50-50 toss-up, even though the momentum seems to be on the Republican side.
Sky News contributor Kosha Gada, great to get your insights as always. Thank you.